your friends present, past and beyond, especially those who weren't with us too long. Life is the most precious thing you can lose. While you were here, the fun was never ending. Life a minute was only beginning. Captain Corbin Nichols, this one's for you! Never get that feeling you can go on. Just remember the side it is that you're on. You've got friends with you till the end. If you're ever in a tough situation, we'll be there, no hesitation. Brotherhoods are rule we cannot bend. When you're feeling too close to the bottom, you know who it is you can count on.
Fans, here are the first 11s begin with the Wayside Geos Lions Chicago SC. Their captain, Tafik El Khati. In goal, Joseph Dietering. Number 2, Kotaro Natsume. Number 4, Cesar Murillo. Number 7, Bukola Abdul Wahab. Number 9, Yanis Lakhalifi. Number 12, Jonathan Rodriguez. Number 14, Keito Nakayama. Number 16, Jacob Batista. Number 18, Edson Gonzalez. And number 29, Leonardo Velasquez. Geos Lions are coached by Ruben Trevino. And now, your starting 11 for your FC Milwaukee Torrent. Your co-captains, number 4, Taylor Pill. Your other co-captain, number 23, Max Ludwig. In goal, Augie Warnock. Number 5, Angel Gongora. Number 9, Gabe Young. Number 12, Jamie Lecomte. Number 14, Lucas Nestus. Number 17, Alejandro Martinez. Number 18, Davis Nelson. Number 25, Jai Shea Bailey. And number 36, Paco Pascaglia.
Please rise. And now, to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedom and those who serve to protect it, the playing of our national anthem.
From Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, it's time for FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for hanging around with us through our weather delay, which will end up being about an hour 30 minutes this evening. Teams took the field for warm-ups at about 5:15. Storms rolled through the Milwaukee area just after they took the pitch, or we should say the Wauwatosa area. However, things cleared. They did have to clear the field for Lightning. Of course, the first matchup between these two teams, FC Milwaukee Torrent and Geo's Lions SC, the two teams doing battle this evening in a huge NPSL showdown, was called off because of lightning that occurred in the 29th minute. The Torrent were getting set to take a set piece. When the sirens went off here at Hart Park, there is an automated system. To give you an idea, just west of our broadcast position, high above things here. By the way, Dan Pfeiffer joining you with us on the broadcast tonight. Good evening. Good to have you along again. It will be Geo's Lions SC taking on FC Milwaukee Torrent. We're getting right into the conversation about the match because of the weather delay that we had. There are tennis courts and 2 softball diamonds just to the west of this facility here at Hart Park, the main stadium, which can seat up to about 5,000 people. So they have an automated system that goes off when there is any lightning in the area so that everyone engaged in any activity here in the park can make their way to shelter. That siren went off while the Torrent were preparing to take a set piece the first time these two teams met. As a result, that match did not pick back up. The park actually closes at 10:30 at night. So with the all clear coming in too late for a full match to count, my apologies, they decided to just call it off. It was no contest. We are starting this match from scratch in the first minute of the contest. And, of course, it'll be the Torrent wearing the blue and the white, just like they were in the first contest, taking on Geo's Lions, who will be wearing the all-black with the white numerals this evening. Mention the storms that rolled through. Weather forecast right now. We'll wait on that just one quick second as we get set for kickoff. You heard the starting lineups. One change for FC Milwaukee Torrent, who took on ATAR Belleville yesterday, so they are playing their second match in as many days. Of course, had to squish in this makeup whenever they could. Lucas Nestis is out there in the first 11 for FC Milwaukee Torrent tonight. He replaces Finlay Skilling. Pretty much the rest of that first 11 is the same as what you saw when the Torrent took on ATAR Belleville yesterday. And that was a 3-0 victory for FC Milwaukee Torrent over ATAR Belleville. Heard that the bus got back here to Milwaukee at about 4 o'clock in the morning last night. ATAR Belleville, a team in Illinois, but just east of St. Louis. So not an easy task for the Torrent to try and get out here for that one. Kickoff. Torrent have possession, moving from our left to our right to start this match. Perhaps now. And by the way, our compliments to Kevin O'Connor, who probably never wants to see this Geo's Lions franchise ever again. He had to kind of hold things down through the lightning delay the last time. Now we had another lightning delay this time. So this is certainly the most that Kevin has had to encounter any side, but not sure if we have a weather icon up here. It has cooled significantly. We'll punch that up on the screen. 66 degrees right now is your temperature. Winds gusting up to 12 miles per hour right now. It was a hot, sticky day, but if you know anything about how storms work, when hot air encounters cold air, a lot of the time that's what brings the storms on. And it was just a very sudden pocket of rain that came through this evening. So, again, we thank you for hanging on through the delay with us. Happy to have you on board the FC Milwaukee Torrent YouTube channel this evening. And we are underway in this contest, and we will explain to you, too, the meaning of this one in the NPSL Gateway Conference, because there are some tiebreakers that will play in, but ultimately, if the Torrent want to have one more NPSL home match this season, they are going to have to win this match tonight. A draw will not do it, and Geo's Lions has something to play for as well, because right now, they are atop the Gateway Conference table, and with a win or a draw, they remain atop the table. So these two teams, while they will be playing each other tonight with something on the line, the way it's falling right now, they will more than likely, it would take an extreme set of circumstances for them to not play each other again in the knockout round, which, as we understand it, will likely take place on Wednesday night. The only question is, where will it take place? A Torrent victory boosts them up to the second spot in the table and knocks Geo's Lions out of the top of the table. We've got a graphic about that. We'll talk about that more as the match goes on, and we'll tell you exactly what all is going to happen. But first things first here, Torrent with some possession here early. Playing the ball all the way back to Joseph Deitering, who is the Geo's Lions SC keeper. Deitering out of Chicago State, a native of Miller City, Ohio, and Geo's Lions, as we kind of get back to the action after telling you a little bit about the implications of this match this evening in the third minute. The Lions trying to play things through the back. A very international flavor to this Geo's Lions team, formerly known as the Chicago Lions, but renamed for Gio Leon, who tragically passed away. He was a son of one of the members of the club, and just as I understand it, kicking it back and forth with a friend of his was hit by a car and passed away. So they renamed the entire club in memory of Gio, and they play in Gio's honor. Obviously a tragic story, but at the same time to see the heart of this club. And Geo's Lions, a good story, too, because they're a Chicago-based club, and they make a point to pull players from around the Chicagoland area, regardless of socioeconomic status. And it's something that gets talked about a lot in American soccer, the fact that U.S. soccer, unfortunately, too often is a pay-for-play realm, as this ricochets off the Torrent and goes out over the end line for a goal kick for Geo's Lions. But the Lions really make a point to emphasize that they are a club that tries to make opportunity available to players regardless of their, again, socioeconomic status. And as a result, it is a very diverse squad. It is a squad that pulls influences from really around the world. Just looking at their starting lineup, Kotaro Natsumi, he hails from Japan, plays his college soccer at UMass Lowell. Pau Mateo, and I've had the chance to see Pau Mateo play with the UIC Flames. Quality player for that side. He comes from Barcelona, Spain. Bukala Abdul Wahab hails out of Nigeria. Yanis Lecliffe from France. As is Tariq El Khati, who is the captain for this Lions side tonight. Jacob Batista out of Australia. And then a number of players also from around the country as well. Speaking of Geo's Lions, they head on the run right now. Good ball into the middle, one touch, left-footed shot, save for Augie Warnod, who is in goal tonight for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Warnod got the nod last night in that 3-0 victory over Atar Belleville. Looking to make it 2 shutouts in 2 nights if possible here after that shot by Kaito Nakayama, wearing number 14, but playing a number 9 type position for Geo's Lions SC. Took that ball from Lecliffe. So the first quality opportunity of the evening goes to Geo's Lions SC, who would like nothing more than to claim this Gateway Conference Championship this evening. Again, win or draw doesn't particularly matter here for Geo's Lions. The Torrent are the ones who want the victory, because that means that conference semifinal match will come up here to Hart Park. But both sides with a lot to play for tonight, even though more than likely there will be a rematch coming up later this week. The question is where, so certainly neither side will be holding anything back tonight. In the back, that's Pau Mateo, as mentioned. The UIC Flame. Had a chance to work a match a couple years ago. Was on the broadcast for a game between UIC and Missouri State. And Missouri State was nationally ranked at the time, 22nd in the country. UIC got an early goal in that contest, but Missouri State ended up getting the victory. Flames Field in Chicago, that entire athletic complex down at UIC is a sight to behold. It is near downtown, and the skyline is quite visible over one goal. Of course, Their baseball stadium is named for Curtis Granderson, who played at UIC once upon a time. I had a chance to see Curtis Granderson not just as a Milwaukee Brewer when he was up here, but even had a chance to see him play for UIC when they came up to Henry Aaron Field to take on the Milwaukee Panthers once upon a time in the early 2000s. But just a gorgeous complex, great view of the skyline in Chicago. Flames Field, a special place for that program. Now in the Missouri Valley Conference. Once upon a time, part of the Horizon League. Obviously a conference that many around here are familiar with. Longtime home of the Milwaukee Panthers, also of the Green Bay Phoenix. Following a throw-in for the Geos Lions. Palmateo will play it over to the far side of the pitch. Leonardo Velasquez, we should say. Plays the ball a bit too far. Goes over the end line. Both sides still feeling things out a little bit here. Surface drained really well, and if you were in the chat while we had the delay, we had some discussions, brought up some soccer-related topics, talked a little bit about Euro 2024, talked even about some of the kid history for FC Milwaukee Torrent, but mentioned there was some standing water around the midfield area where the fourth official usually stands, also on the southwest corner, which is the corner on the bottom right of your screen, to give you an idea. And you can still see what happens when you get that standing water is a lot of the time it will wash some of the rubber pellets up to the top of the surface as we have an opportunity for the Torrent. Ball played out wide by Alejandro Martinez. Finds Gabe Vaughn. Vaughn has been a threat up top for the Torrent in the last few matches. That ball will ricochet off FC Milwaukee Torrent and go out for a throw-in for Geo's Lions. This will be made by Jonathan Rodriguez. Actually, Rodriguez will send it back to Kotaro Natsumi. Natsumi throws it over the top. AR2 puts up his flag, and our official for tonight's match, Andrija Vukic. He will agree with the assessment that was a foul on Geo's Lions. Torrent will try and play the ball forward. Simple ball to the midfield. That is Paco Piscaglia. Piscaglia will take it back. Plays the ball towards the middle. Vong inside the 18. Goes down. Trying to earn that PK. Andrija Vukic is having none of it. Torrent are able to control the clearance. Max Ludwig, far side. That ball will ricochet off the Torrent. Nice play by Mateo. Good decision to try and hit that off some Torrent feet. It goes out over the end line, and this will be a goal kick for Deitering and the Lions. We are very fortunate here in the Midwest to have some great soccer facilities, and talk about Flames Field down in Chicago and how fun it is to watch a match down there. Of course, here in Milwaukee, we have Engelman Stadium, nestled into the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Surrounded by a number of buildings. The engineering school is just south of Engelman Stadium. The architecture school is just to the east of it, and as a result, a very intimate feel. Feels a little bit like what you see from some of the smaller grounds in England. League Two conference grounds, even, you can say. Stands are right up against Engelman Hall. That'll be a whistle and a foul against the Lions. Set piece opportunity for FC Milwaukee Torrent. They'll take quickly. Jamie Lecomte sets the ball down. Sliding tackle try. Not there. However, the ball is easily played by Natsumi for the Lions. Strong challenge, and they'll say it was too strong on the part of Piscaglia. But Marquette plays at Valley Fields. Downtown Milwaukee, very close to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Right along the Milwaukee River. Facility that was built in the mid-90s. Reclaimed former industrial land. The Green Bay Phoenix. Aldo Santaga Stadium. Ball into the 18, nicely crossed. Good sliding tackle to clear it out. Controlled momentarily by Jonathan Rodriguez. Challenge that'll go up in the air and well out over the touchline for a throw-in for Gio's Lions. This will come all the way back to Cesar Murillo. Play it back to Mateo. Mateo, forward. Nice run by LaCliffey, but not nice enough as the linesman says that he was out ahead of the last defender before the ball was sent. Offside. Torrent will have the chance to ping it down the pitch. One thing about Valley Fields for Marquette, they still play on natural grass, and again, that allows us to go back and talk a little bit about the surface tonight. Not seeing any issues with footing, and again, the rain drains fast on this artificial surface. One thing they do at Valley Fields, as we talk about rain and moisture on the pitch, is they do what you see a lot of the time at higher level matches around the world, is they actually run the sprinkler system about 20-25 minutes before the match. That was a good ball across from Natsumi. He was looking for LaCliffey coming through the middle, but he played it out just a little bit too far. LaCliffey also hesitated a little bit. Torrent maybe luck out there. They'll get a goal kick in the 15th minute. You don't see it a lot at the college level that they'll run the sprinklers about 25 minutes or so before the match, but you do see it at Marquette where challenge on the keeper, Warnod. It's taken away from him. Shot on and in! Augie Warnod just loses the ball right off his feet, and Gio's Lions scores in the 15th minute, 1-0. Leonardo Velasquez is the one to finish. A howler for Warnod. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Lions. Can't sugarcoat that one, folks. That's just a mental mistake. A stunner of the goal for Gio's Lions. Warnod played the ball out wide, took it back. It was taken right off his foot by Giannis LaCliffey, and LaCliffey gets the assist on the pass to Velasquez, who had no one in front of him as he finished. I'm going to correct myself here. That was not LaCliffey. That was Bukla Abdul Wahab on the goal. Chaos inside the 18, and the Lions capitalized. It wasn't even really chaos. There's not much we can do to explain that one, folks, and we don't want to be too hard on these guys, but that could be a goal that results in Torrent having to make a trip to Chicago. A lot of time left, though. A lot of time. It is a developmental level, and sometimes you learn things the hard way. Gio's Lions go up 1-0. Again, it came in the 15th minute. Keep in mind, the first time these two teams met, it was still 0-0 in the 29th minute when the Lightning rolled in. Torrent have some work to do. And remember, a draw does not help the Torrent in this instance. Nice ball into the box. Through ball off the foot of Jamie Lecomte, but he can't find Lucas Nestis. And it just rolls to Dietering. He'll calm things down. Yep. Number 7, Bukala Abdul-Wahab gets the opening goal on a pass from Giannis Lecliffe. Really, it was Lecliffe that did the work. He's the one who took the ball off Warnott's foot. We've seen some of both Augie Warnott and backup keeper Sam Ortner in frame for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Warnott.
The first Geo's Lions goal was scored by number 7, Bukala Abdul-Wahab.
Just kind of got caught sleeping there. Corner kick coming up for the Lions, too, as they try and maybe even double this advantage here in the 19th minute. You can still see a lot of the standing water on the track here at Hart Park. Short corner taken by the Lions. A little back and forth action before the cross into the box. Warnodd is challenged by Tarufik El-Kati. But even though the ball goes to the ground, Warnodd is able to get to it. He'll throw it out to the touchline. Torrent will try and work the wing. Nice ball over the top to Nestis. Nestis able to win a throw. Torrent moving up. You can see the back line for FC Milwaukee Torrent. About 10 yards across midfield. Shots up and over the top of the bar. They will say Dietering got a piece of it, so it'll be a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Outstanding leaping save for Joseph Dietering. Unless that ball was partially deflected on the shot, I did not think so. Keith Skilling out there mentioning that there is still plenty of time left in this one, and indeed there is plenty of time left. FC Milwaukee Torrent, maybe they can capitalize on this corner and get an equalizer. Couple stutter steps along the trap, ball into the middle. Over the top of everybody. Nestis all the way to the near side. He will control. Send it back to Lecomte. Maybe got surprised a little bit there by how close Max Ludwig was. Finds Angel Gongora. Speaking of the Milwaukee Panthers, Gongora currently going to UWM, transferred there after attending Madison College. Jai Shea Bailey. Rivals of the Milwaukee Panthers, Marquette Golden Eagles. Good to see the Milwaukee Cup back on the college schedule this year as Marquette will take on UWM. Always an outstanding evening of soccer in Milwaukee. Usually draws at least 1,000 fans. Long ball, good ball, played all the way to Lecliffe. He was the one that took the ball off Warnott's foot, resulting in the first goal. Plays it back, square ball, Nakayama. Shots up and over the top of everything from Bukala Abdul-Wahab, trying to turn it into a brace. But that one goes up and over. One 0 in favor of Geo's Lions in the 22nd minute. Again, Torrent need a victory in this one if they want to play their knockout round match at home. It would be against this Geo's Lions team that would knock Geo's Lions to the third third spot in the table, if you will. Torrent would go up to number 2. No chance of the Torrent winning the conference. It would be Kansas City Soul that would become Gateway Conference champions if the Torrent can get the victory tonight. Foul on Geo's Lions. Set piece opportunity for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Andrija Vukic wants the Geo's Lions line to move back about their wall, to move back about 1 yard. Ball into the box. Josh Bailey was there, headed away from him, though. Trying to win the second ball. Torrent are able to possess. Towards the middle, Piscaglia. Played back. Ludwig. Looking for a running Martinez, trying to cut towards the edge of the 18. Can't control, however, the Lions cannot clear. Ball into the box. Getting it away from the keeper. Shot on off the post. Second shot up and over. Lucas Nestis was there. Got past the keeper, Deitering. Had the entire frame in front of him. Just hurried the shot a little bit, and it went off woodwork. Palmateo down for Geo's Lions. So close. While we have a second here, punch up the standings. There you have it, Gateway Conference. Kansas City Soul, 21 points. That is why, if Geo's Lions loses tonight, they will stay at 20 points. Then we will have a three-way tie for second at 20 points. You go to goal differential. FC Milwaukee Torrent would move to that second spot. Geo's Lions would go to third. However, a draw or a victory for Geo's Lions would put them at the top of the table, and they would be Gateway Conference champions. Torrent working through small spaces to the middle, and Ludwig over to the far side. Over the top of everybody off the foot of Pill. However, they say it was last touched by Geo's Lions SC. Torrent from the near side. Martinez, low cross. We've seen the Torrent score on those this year. It was a similar low cross against Bavarian United SC. And that's why the Torrent in the USASA Amateur Cup are headed to the national semifinals on July 25th. Didn't work out for the Torrent there. Torrent, in addition to NPSL play, are competing in a few separate competitions. We mentioned the USASA Amateur Cup. Torrent will take on FC Arizona, wide open in the middle, but offside was Paco Piscaglia. Probably knew it, as even the shot that he put on didn't really challenge Deitering. Deitering did go to the ground. Deitering needs a ball, and of course, goes from having 0 to having 2, as both the fourth official and one of our ball girls sends him one. He'll take the one from the near side. So yes, Torrent, they will be in the USASA Amateur Cup semifinal against FC Arizona on July 25th. That match will take place at 8 p.m. Torrent are also in the Wisconsin Cup. Tuesday night, they'll take on Isthmus City FC. A good result there for the Torrent. Could allow them to win the South Pool. Move on to the final and try and get some hardware there. And then the Torrent are also taking part in a region of the NISA Independent Cup. So a lot of silverware, perhaps, available for the Torrent. Could win a few different cups Hopefully they're all dishwasher safe. When you got that many cups, man, you don't want to be washing those by hand, you know? Torrent with it inside the 18. It depends on what you're drinking out of them, though. You know? Milk, you kind of got to wash the cups out. Soda, it'll stick in the bottom there. Water, though, it's just fine. Geo's Lions, while they do have the 1-goal advantage, have not had a ton of possession in this match, at least not since they scored the goal. FC Milwaukee Torrent has ratcheted up the intensity, knowing that they not only need to get back an equalizer, they need to get one more. Taking it forward with the dribble, Angel Gongora to the near side. Alejandro Martinez gets by one defender. Cleared out across the touchline by Jonathan Rodriguez for Geo's Lions SC. Throw in for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Davis Nelson takes it. Gets it right back. Gongora, near side. 1-2 ball right back to Gongora. Pass in the direction of Alejandro Martinez. Instead, it comes down to Katsuro Natsumi. He'll play it back to Deitering, who will just send it down the pitch. Mentioned that Joseph Deitering, out of Miller City, Ohio, but also a Chicago State Cougar, entering his sophomore season, saw limited action last year for the Cougars. Took part in 2 matches. Pair of losses for the Cougars at Omaha and at Purdue-Fort Wayne. And that Purdue-Fort Wayne connection is interesting because there are a number of players from the Purdue system, if you will, on this Geo's Lions squad. Purdue Northwest, a popular breeding ground for Geo's Lions players. They are a Division II school. Of course, Purdue University, the main campus in West Lafayette, Indiana. But there are a number of other Purdue-affiliated institutions. Purdue Northwest. Purdue-Fort Wayne, formerly IPFW, still the Mastodons. The Indiana University system is somewhat separated itself from Purdue with a couple institutions that they had. Of course, also you have IUPUI in Indianapolis. The Jaguars. Ball goes over the foot of Leonardo Velasquez. Out across the touchline. C-3PO, that was Purdue Star Wars, I believe. Purdue University Death Star. You know, they are engineering-based. You would have thought, though, that they would have found a way to close off that one ventilation shaft. Not saying, just saying. We laugh. We shouldn't laugh, of course. Purdue University, alma mater of a certain Neil Armstrong. A man who went on one of the longest road trips in the history of mankind.
Interestingly enough, my favorite, what do you know about me, is that every Apollo 13 astronaut, including Gene Kranz, who is the flight
Wow.
director.
Kevin O'Connor, our producer, just mentioning in my ear that he has actually met every one of the Apollo 13 astronauts. Now, Apollo 13 obviously was the mission a couple after Apollo 11. Apollo 11 was the first one to land humans on the moon, but Apollo 13 was the one that... Right, they were supposed to end up on the moon, but they ended up going around the moon, and it was quite the accomplishment engineering-wise, as we'll get a goal kick here for Geo's Lions in the 32nd minute. A feat of engineering to basically jury rig the various devices that they still had left with them that were functional to get the 3 astronauts who were on that mission back to planet Earth. That was the James Lovell mission, correct? Yeah. Yes.
James Lovell, I forget the other two guys, but Gene Kranz is perhaps the nicest person I've ever met in my life.
We mentioned James Lovell.
And he wore the vest. He's like famous for wearing vests.
We mentioned James Lovell because there is a street named after him in Milwaukee, which is the street that the Milwaukee Public Museum, for the time being, is on. They are moving the museum in a few years. Construction has started on a new public museum in Milwaukee, but
His son attended St. John's, the military academy, out in Delafield. Right? St. John's, right?
as we're talking about the space program, we are in the 33rd minute.
By the way, Dakota Fusion up 2-1 over Flora. That's the next opponent.
Update, by the way, on the situation with the NISA Independent Cup. Dakota Fusion FC currently up on Vlora FC as we get a ball played back, actually almost beyond the keeper, Deitering. But he's able to control it before it goes over the end line. Does not surrender a cheap corner to the Torrent. So it is Dakota Fusion up on Vlora FC 2-1 right now. So the winner of that match gets FC Milwaukee Torrent in the NISA Independent Cup match that we will have here at Hart Park on July 19th. 7 p.m. start time for that match. Head to MilwaukeeTorrent.com to get more information on how you can get tickets for that contest. Tickets, of course, always available at the gate. Come on out. It's a lot of entertainment for $10. As I believe, to paraphrase one Elwood Blues once upon a time. Sliding tackle, dangerous tackle, but Andrija Vukic says ball contact was made. So play on, says Vukic, as the Torrent get possession back. Push, somewhat late from LaCliffey. No call there as well. Vukic letting him play. Nestis on the far side. Following that push, Jamie Lecomte is down. Lecomte holding his right side. And rolling over. Do see Jeff Pill get up from the Torrent technical area to perhaps go over and try and say something to either the assistant referee or the fourth official about that sequence. A lot of discussion between Max Ludwig, one of the co-captains for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Now Andrija Vukic is going to come over to the touchline, and he's going to have a conversation with both the assistant referee on the near side and the fourth official about what all occurred on that tackle. He was not facing the play, according to our producer, Kevin O'Connor, so he did not see, our official, Andrija Vukic, what occurred there. So after some discussion, Vukic will head back into the middle. And it looks like Vukic is going to go with status quo antebellum and just allow the throw-in to occur for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Ball off the side of the foot of Nestis, but he can't find a teammate, and the Lions are going to be able to clear. Perhaps a mistake by Jai Shea Bailey. Overran the ball. Abdul Wahab had the goal earlier. Torrent are able to recover, just clearing the ball out to an empty patch of AstroTurf. Davis Nelson. We're in the 37th minute. We should have some stoppage time here in the first half. Of course, we will have at least 1 minute, as is always the case. Given the situations, though, that we just saw there, would not be surprised if maybe we get up to 2 or 3.
Watching a little bit of replay last night from the Ator game. Late in the game, they had 2 red cards. Ator did.
Cross into the box. That is deflected out. At least attempting to cross it into the box. This will be a corner kick for Geo's Lions.
One was
Heading over to take the corner for Geo's Lions SC, Kaito Nakayama. He just finished up his career at Phoenix College. That is a junior college. He is a native of Phoenix. Arizona way. Might know a thing or two about FC Arizona, the coming opponent for FC Milwaukee Torrent in the USASA Amateur Cup. Torrent are able to clear. Nakayama unable to maintain control. Good ball down the touchline. Running it down, Lucas Nestis. Edge of the 18, tries to cross it into the middle. Momentarily cleared. It comes down to Gabe Vong, and Vong, instead of letting it settle, tries to take one touch and gets well underneath the ball. Nowhere near the goal, and all we can say about that one is the ball girl is lucky that one didn't bounce into the parking lot or onto the train tracks. 39th minute. It was a goal in the 15th. Bukala Abdul Wahab. And that is why Geo's Lions SC has this 1-0 lead on FC Milwaukee Torrent. Seeing a number of comments in the chat about that sequence where we had the hard tackles going in both directions. Some mention that maybe the official was playing advantage there. As we discussed, it was more just that we don't think he saw what was going on. Cross into the box, one touch on and in! Make it 2-0 in favor of Geo's Lions. The cross came from Natsumi. Beautiful cross. Two Torrent defenders were there, but the Lions were still able to finish. We'll go back and look at the replay, but it looked like it was Jonathan Rodriguez. FC Milwaukee Torrent in some trouble now. Great cross, great finish. Both Jai Shea Bailey and Taylor Pill were right there. Hard to imagine a more perfect finish, though. Still trying to get an ID on the goal score. Believe, after watching it back a couple times, believe it was Giannis LeCliffy. Kind of hard to tell from our angle. Can't really see a number all that clearly, but it looks like LeCliffy's build kind of ran out of frame after scoring the goal. But we'll go with LeCliffy as the goal scorer off of the cross from Kotaro Natsumi. Hard tackle on the near side. Bukla Abdul Wahab now down for Geo's Lions. Yes. Giannis LeCliffy.
Second Geo's Lions goal was scored by number 9, Giannis LeCliffy.
No complaints from the Geo's Lions supporters who have come out to Hart Park tonight as we get the announcement of the goal scorer. Lights just starting to flicker on here at Hart Park. It has been a dusky evening here. It is 8:12 p.m. right now here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sunset around this time of year is typically around 8:30, but with the cloud cover that we've had, following the storms that we had earlier. A little darker than usual tonight. Right now, the Torrent are both figuratively and literally in the gloaming. 43rd minute, and they find themselves down 2-0. So we are being told that part of the reason, it looked like the lights were starting to flicker on. Apparently that's just a reflection from some of the other lights here in the facility. And apparently the computer that is running the lights is malfunctioning at the City of Wauwatosa offices right now. And we apologize, by the way, every once in a while if we kind of go dark during the broadcast here. There's all of three of us in the box right now as... with this being a rescheduled game, we've kind of had to run on a skeleton crew, so every once in a while if questions or issues pop up here in the box, we do the best we can. But as mentioned, apparently the computer that controls the lights is having an issue, so that is why the lights have not come on, and that is why we are playing soccer in the dusk at the moment here. Again, on the broadcast, and we always like to emphasize this. This is one of the things that when you've got a producer that is of the quality of Kevin O'Connor, that he can do. He can adjust the iris, the exposure, the white balance, and whatnot to make the action on the screen still look very good. But I'll tell you what, in reality, if you're out here, it's pretty dark. We are also being told that the computer malfunction has also affected the restrooms. So the locks for the bathrooms triggered. So for another 20 minutes or so, we are not going to have the use of the restroom facilities, which, given that we are now approaching added time, and we will soon be at halftime, and I'm sure there will soon be plenty of people who want to use the restroom. As we do get the signal from the fourth official that we will have 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes. But we have some issues here at Hart Park after we had the hour-and-a-half delay prior to the start of this match. Bunch of issues if you're FC Milwaukee Torrent. In more ways than one, things are a little dim right now for FC Milwaukee Torrent. We are into the added time again. We have been told that there will be 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes. Ball to the near side. Offside flag goes up. Too far forward, Jamie Lecomte. Alejandro Martinez goes down momentarily. Helped to his feet nicely by Kotaro Natsumi, who had the assist on the second goal. Goal number 2 for Geo's Lions came in the 40th minute. Their first one came in the 15th. One of the Geo's Lions supporters joining us on the chat, Kevin Deitering, I assume one of the relatives of Joseph Deitering, the keeper for Geo's Lions, showing concern, asking that, or hoping that no one got locked in the restroom as a result of the locks going off. We are told that you can get out, you cannot get in. So hopefully some strong bladders in the stands here during halftime. But Very nice restroom facilities here at Hart Park, we should say, as the whistle does blow to signal the end of the first half. But Geo's Lions trying to secure the NPSL Gateway Conference Championship here in 2024. They have the lead right now on FC Milwaukee Torrent as we head to recess 2-0. We will take a break. Hopefully, we will figure out how the lights can turn on. Hopefully, we will be able to get the restrooms open.
Also, we will get the lights on here hopefully shortly. Apparently, the computer is not working.
So as Kevin O'Connor, who again is, as often is the case when you hear me on play-by-play, he is the one who is also doing the PA announcing in addition to producing the broadcast. We're all multitasking. We're all trying to juggle as much as we can. He tells the crowd to be patient with the restroom situation.
But while you're all going to the other side of the pitch, go ahead and stop by B. Willie's Barbecue over there. There's smokers there near the main entrance.
So we will head to halftime, and it will be Geo's Lions taking that 2-0 advantage into the break.
While you're also on that side of the pitch, you can grab some snacks or nice popcorn at the concession stand and a tour cold.
Again, possession pretty even in this match. If anything, I would say the Torrent have had more possession than Geo's Lions in the contest thus far. A physical match at times. Andrea Vukic has yet to go to the yellow card in this contest. But it's Geo's Lions able to finish first when Augie Warnod had the ball taken off his foot by Giannis Lecliffe, and Bukala Abdul-Wahab finished in the 15th minute, and then a beautiful cross by Kotaro Netsumi to Giannis Lecliffe, and that's what has the Lions up 2-0. Again, we'll take a break for halftime. When we come back, we'll have second half action, and hopefully I will be less in the dark than I usually am when we get done with that. Once again, 2-0, Geo's Lions up on FC Milwaukee Torrent. This is FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer on the FC Milwaukee Torrent YouTube channel. Back with you from Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, where tonight's FC Milwaukee Torrent struggling with Geo's Lions. Goals in the 15th and 40th minutes for the Lions have them up on FC Milwaukee Torrent right now 2-0 as Geo's Lions tries to win the Gateway Conference crown and earn the right to host at least the next couple rounds of playoffs. There you see the Gateway Conference standings up there right now. And we also have the tiebreakers up there at the moment. Kansas City Soul right now here with 21 points. However, again, if the Lions draw or get the victory tonight, they move to 21 points at least as well. The Lions did not play Kansas City Soul. In fact, Kansas City Soul did not make their way this far north. So you have to go all the way down to goal difference in conference competition, because the conference wins would be the same then, and Geo's Lions would have the advantage there, so they would go up to the 1 seed. However, if FC Milwaukee Torrent can win tonight, then you'll have 3 sides with 20 points. Then you go to the tiebreakers. Torrent would have the advantage over Geo's Lions with the strength of tonight's victory, so they would go all the way up to number 2. Geo's Lions would fall to number 3. And again, these two teams would play, we are being told it would be Wednesday night here at Hart Park. A replay, if you will, between the Lions and the Torrent, as that would be the case if the Torrent can win tonight. However, to do that, FC Milwaukee Torrent is going to have to find at least a trio of goals here in the second half after the Lions got a goal on a Bukala Abdul Wahab strike after Giannis Lecliffe saw the Torrent being a little bit lazy, playing the ball back to the keeper at the time, Augie Warnod, and we will note the fact that we are saying at the time in just a moment. Lecliffe just took it off the foot of Warnod, found Abdul Wahab cutting back into the middle, and with Warnod out of goal and chasing down Lecliffe after he lost the ball, all that Abdul Wahab had to do was slot the ball into the back of the net, and it was 1-0 in favor of Geo's Lions. And then the second Geo's Lions goal, a beautiful cross from Kotaro Natsumi into the middle. Giannis Lecliffe was there to receive it. And so Lecliffe with a goal and an assist in the match. And that is why Geo's Lions has this 2-0 lead. That goal by Lecliffe came in the 40th minute. As mentioned, it was Warnod in frame for FC Milwaukee Torrent in the first half. If you look to the north end of the pitch now, Sam Ortner will be the one that will be out there in the second half for FC Milwaukee Torrent.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for my music choices, so thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm for my music.
So Ortner takes over in frame. Ortner out of DePaul. Not DePaul, DePaul. Started in 5 games last year, and of course he has been in frame quite a bit this season for FC Milwaukee Torrent. About a 50-50 split on the season between Ortner and Warnod. Ortner was in frame for the USASA Amateur Cup Region 2 final and was able to keep Bavarian United SC off the scoreboard as the Torrent got that 1-0 win in extra time. Torrent quickly off the kickoff. Ball played into the net. It's a goal! Oh, but the flag went up on the near side, offside. The Torrent trying to execute the kickoff glitch like something you see in EAFC. But the call is offside. Rolling it back. I don't know about that one, folks. That is a tough, tough call to make in that moment. Ball to the far side. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Nonetheless, the goal comes off the board for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Excitement less than 30 seconds into the second half. Torrent need more of that, though.
Paul had a question, why did Kansas City not play all the teams? It's because there's 8 teams and they have a home and home, so they can only play 5 other teams. There's probably some regionality built into that, too, just because they're so far west.
Attempted a through ball. Torrent able to get possession back after they were momentarily dispossessed. So, question that we had in the chat was why Kansas City Soul did not play all of the teams in the conference as Paco Piscaglia tries to take a shot. That gets deflected back in his direction. Torrent will maintain possession. They'll play the ball to the back. What it is the conference has 8 teams, but you only play 5 of them. 5 of the other teams. There are 2 other teams that you do not play in the conference, and you play a home and home with the other 5 teams. And it's just because the conference is as spread out as it is. So with Kansas City being as far west as they are, they did not make the trip all the way up here. They did not play either Geo's Lions or FC Milwaukee Torrent. They're the only 2 teams that they did not encounter. Meanwhile, they played the rest of the conference 5 times. So, imbalanced schedule, just kind of part of the nature of soccer at this level. It is odd, don't get me wrong. And we do mention, too, that, as Kevin O'Connor, our producer, is pointing out, Kansas City Soul does still play Wisconsin Conquerors, who are further to the north than FC Milwaukee Torrent. A little bit more west, but still a long trip. Torrent still pressing hard here to try and get that first goal. Seeing some folks who are perhaps sharing my sentiment that that was a very difficult offside call as the Torrent tried to come out quickly here at the start of the second half. By the way, the overseers of the city of Wauwatosa, I'm assuming the number one IT solution, unplug it and plug it back in, right? We were able to get the lights on. We were able to get the bathrooms unlocked.
Thank you for calling IT and they tried turning it off and back on again.
Big time shove, and that's going to be a foul against FC Milwaukee Torrent. And they got to be careful over there. Not only did Taoufik El Kati, getting my F's misplaced there, I apologize, go down. Hard shove on the part of Max Ludwig, perhaps showing some frustration here. After the offside call waved off the FC Milwaukee Torrent goal in the first minute of this second half as we were still settling back in.
Yellows don't carry over in NPSL, do they? Because Max got
Ball played through the middle. That's a great ball. Jai Shea Bailey had the chase down Giannis LeCliffy, who, again, has a goal and an assist already in this match. And LeCliffy put on the Jets. Pretty much run past Shea Bailey. And Shea Bailey is not a slow guy. This will be cleared towards the Lions' technical area. Just headed out by Kaito Nakayama. Yeah, Giannis LeCliffy having himself a match here. The Frenchman, who attends UMass Lowell, one of a couple players on this Geo's Lions roster who are UMass Lowell attendees. As mentioned, significant international flair on this Geo's Lions squad, but perhaps unsurprising when you consider the cosmopolitan city that Chicago is. Good hub here in America for players to come to and be very close to a couple airports where they can make their way around the country if needed. That's a hard challenge. A lot of discussion between Andrija Vukic and the player called for the foul, Paco Piscaglia. You hear the term forwards tackle every once in a while, and, well, that was one right there. No booking for Piscaglia, but still down on the ground is Taoufik El Kati. He is an alum of Prairie State College, junior college. Checked his elbow out for a scuff. Got back on his feet. Ball to the near side. Leonardo Velasquez. Cross. Just a little too much on it. It'll be a goal kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Prairie State, located in Chicago Heights, Illinois, south side of Chicago. And that connection with the, we'll call it the Skyway Corridor, if you will. South side of Chicago to Purdue Northwestern, and Chicago State also on the south side of Chicago, where Joseph Deitering is going to school. Plenty of talent to pull from in that part of the city. That part, well, we shouldn't even just say the city. The region, the Chicagoland region. Folks still discussing in the chat that near goal for FC Milwaukee Torrent in the first minute of the second half. Interesting move there by Deitering. He saw the ball heading towards the end line. Kind of kicked over the ball when he realized that it was last off FC Milwaukee Torrent. That kept the Torrent from challenging, and as a result, he was able to win a goal kick out of it. Great story, Geo's Lions, especially knowing, again, some of the heart that it's taken on the part of this organization. Edge of the 18, Nestis high and wide. Hard to root against this Geo's Lions team, too, and I've been impressed also tonight, too, with some of the sportsmanship we've seen from this club. Times when there have been Torrent players down, they've gone over to help them up. Again, great support for the organization, too. And it's something that is important for the Torrent as well. And it really, as grassroots American soccer has grown in this country, and we talked about how there is now much more regional play available to players who are at this level, this low-level Division I, D2, D3 realm, collegiately, as Geo's Lions goes on a run, far side. Taken away, Torrent with a chance to counter. Good ball, Piscaglia. He'll play it back down the pitch. Making a run, Alejandro Martinez. He'll chase it down, slows down just in time for him. However, there's no one on the other end. Look to cross it, goes over the end line. And I should correct myself there. It was Ortner down at the one end who made the one play to get the ball there. I'm so busy talking about other things here that had my ends of the pitch screwed up there. This will be a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent, as it was Deitering on that end who could not get to the ball in time. Taylor Pill comes over to take it. Pill. He'll set this up for an in-swinger. Watch for Jai Shea Bailey here. He has been dangerous on these. He'll come to the near side, but it's Deitering going into the air, and he's able to pull it down. But that's one of the neat things. Ooh, great back heel off the foot of LaCliffey. He's able to find Abdul Wahab. Great run by Abdul Wahab. Shot on and in. My goodness. Bukala Abdul Wahab. What a finish in the 56th minute. 3-0 Geo's Lions. Calling a brace for Abdul Wahab as he puts it right through the uprights of Sam Ortner. That's a SportsCenter top 10 type finish. Hey, give the Lions credit. They're earning this one tonight. The LaCliffy Wahab connection. Outstanding. Now we do have a Lions player down, and that might have been part of the celebration. So Abdul Wahab appears to be the player down. As he took that shot, watching it back, if you roll it back on the YouTube feed, he was kind of leaning to his left a little bit after he took the shot, and he curled off to the left side, and looks like he's still down. Trainers are going to come out. Beautiful goal. Absolutely beautiful goal. It would be a shame if Abdul Wahab ends up being unable to go after such an outstanding strike. Not much you can do about that if you're FC Milwaukee Torrent, kids. Ortner made the smart decision, came off his line, cut down the angle. Indeed, it is Abdul Wahab. You can see he is very gingerly making his way off the pitch right now. Substitute is coming to the table for Gio's Lions. That is Angel Mendez. Looks like he will take the place of Wahab up top. Abdul Wahab, we should say.
Coming up for the Gio's Lions, Angel Mendez. For number 7, Nicola Abdul Wahab.
Indeed, Mendez will head out onto the pitch. He attends Governor's State, an NAIA school. Home of the Jaguars, located in University Park, Illinois. University Park, well south of Chicago. A yellow card has been issued to the FC Milwaukee Torrent bench. In the meantime, a lot of discussion right now still going on between the fourth official and a couple of folks in the technical area for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Sliding tackle came in late. And following the booking on the bench, which was our first booking of the evening, Andrea Vukic. Starting to get a few hoots and howls from the stands as this one's starting to get a little bit chippy with the Lions up 3-0. Good ball. Shea Bailey overran it. Goes out beyond the end line. Goal kick for the Lions. Rough night for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Been kind of a rough day for the franchise on the whole. The season for the FC Milwaukee Torrent women came to an abrupt end today at FC Pride in the WPSL postseason. A 4-1 defeat for the women who were missing a few components. Elsie Twombly, such a force for FC Milwaukee Torrent's women's side. We're going to get a booking here against FC Milwaukee Torrent. And if Jamie Lecomte isn't careful, this could turn into something worse. Very demonstrative after he gets booked. Booking comes out in the 62nd minute. Now LeCompte goes down in the box. Didn't see what happened there. Interestingly, the referee crosses his arms in front of his head. That's not something we do at this level. That is the signal to stop the clock at the college level. There was a shove on LeCompte in the box. Rolling it back and looking at the replay. It wasn't much of a shove. LeCompte may have tried to sell it a little bit, but that was the substitute Mendez who had an encounter with LeCompte. LeCompte is not happy. Maybe some gamesmanship here, too, on the part of Gio's Lions. Set piece for the Lions, played in by Nakayama. Cleared by FC Milwaukee Torrent. Trying to counter. Great ball, far side. To the 18, into the 18, played towards the middle, but Teitering off his line, able to stop the run for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Torrent were looking for that late cross. Nestis was there. But Teitering, trusting his back line enough to be in position to play the cross. Right place, right time, well done. Teitering preserves a clean sheet with that move to keep that pass from finding a Torrent foot. Once again, far side, Martinez. Easy touch, then a through ball. Can't find Piscaglia. Torrent now trying to press a little bit more. Torrent want this goal kick to happen. Teitering, understandably, taking his time. Torrent are able to head the ball back to Ortner. Now they'll try and play the ball through the midfield to the near side. We do see a substitute at the table for FC Milwaukee Torrent. That is Brandon Kaup. Gongora to the near side, Taylor Pill. Ball along the touchline. Piscaglia loses his footing. Just sent down the pitch by Jacob Batista. Ludwig goes to the ground on that challenge. Torrent are able to get possession back. Ball to the far side from Ludwig. Just sent down the pitch. That might be a fortunate ball for Gio's Lions. Mendez. Nice move in the box. Got turned around. Goes to the ground. I'll say he kind of slipped on a combination of the ball and the turf. Andrija Vukic does not award the PK. Batista all the way back to Teitering. Gio's Lions will reverse the pitch. Trying to work that right wing. Mendez back to Nakayama. Rodriguez taken away by FC Milwaukee Torrent. A little too heavy of a touch. Trying to control. Flying off the ball, Vaughan. Let the bodies hit the floor. Torrent get possession again. Making a move towards the wing. Slips, falls. Not really any contact. Now we've got some body-to-body contact. Jamie LeCompte on yellow. Hard challenge. Back to the middle. Nestis runs to the defender. Contact all over the place right now. Nothing foul-worthy. That ball will be cleared well off the pitch. And now we have a Gio's Lions player down. Unsurprising. Andrija Vukic just not putting the whistle to his mouth right now. And again, it's body to body. It's not shoulder to shoulder. So sometimes it's late. It's not necessarily disrupting play. Neither team has really had advantage. just a physical match right now.
Coming up with the tour, number 20, Brandon Kopp, and number 7, Juan Lopez.
So as mentioned,
And for number 12, Jamie LeCompte, and 36, Paco Piscaglia.
Brandon Kopp comes on. Paco Piscaglia comes off. Jamie LeCompte also comes off. Also, Juan Lopez comes on. Colombian national. Plays his college soccer at Angelina Junior College. One touch, Shea Bailey towards the near post. But Deitering is there. All credit to Joseph Deitering, and I'm not just saying this because I know there are some members of the Deitering clan watching the broadcast tonight. He's having an outstanding match. Future might be bright for that Chicago State Cougars program. Torrent do get possession back at the midfield stripe. Jai Shea Bailey had to get rid of it after pressure was applied by LeCliffy. LeCliffy has a goal and is assisted on 2 more in this match. Some solid talent out here for Geo's Lions. And mention that UMass Lowell connection. All 3 assists in this match have come from players for UMass Lowell. Natsumi with 1, LeCliffy with 2. Natsumi from Japan, LeCliffy, a Frenchman. One v one on the far side, out over the end line. Corner kick, FC Milwaukee Torrent. Pill will go over to take. From the far corner, he likes using the right foot with the in-swinger. Oftentimes, Jai Shea Bailey runs what we in basketball would call a flex cut here. Can either move to the front post or the back post. This time he goes to the front post, looking for his head, can't find it. Headed out by Batista. Torrent maintained possession. Line drive cross into the box, headed away. Gongora. Sent over to the far side. Kaup, the substitute. Can't find a teammate with the head at first, but after the challenge, Torrent get it back. Nestis with some space. Tries to play a through ball off the side of his foot, looking for Lopez, the fellow substitute. But Lopez can't track it down. Going to the ground now is Leonardo Velasquez. Keystone College, Division III, Rockville, Maryland, currently on the ground. Stretching things out might be some cramping. 71st minute of this match, but with some of the injuries that we have had in this second half, probably a good amount of stoppage time. Tried to help him up, but he goes back down. Substitute at the table for Geo's Lions, Luka Asif. He will not come on for the injured player, though it looks like they are taking off Jonathan Rodriguez. Second sub does come to the table for the Lions. This is Jamar Stinchcombe, who is also at the table right now for Geo's Lions. And he will come on for the injured Velasquez. Stinchcombe was not part of the active roster for the Lions when they defeated Wisconsin Conquerors in their last match. That was a 3-0 victory.
One more substitution for the Geo's Lions. Number 8, Jamar Stinchcombe, coming on for number 29, Leonardo Velasquez.
So Velasquez comes off. Stinchcombe comes on. Lions, far side. Ball played forward without much purpose. Torrent able to possess. Kaup plays it all the way back to Shea Bailey, who can't chase it down. Torrent still able to possess, though, and Shea Bailey does get it back. One is tempted to say the clock is the enemy of FC Milwaukee Torrent right now, but frankly, at the moment, it's one step at a time. First things first, you just got to get a goal. 4 goals in the span of 20 minutes feels like it would be a somewhat miraculous ask at this point against a team as solid as Geo's Lions. But you can only score one at a time. Speaking of some goalkeeper fakery, Deitering, after seeing that the ball went over the end line well wide of the goal, swings his leg over the ball and just lets it roll out so he can take a little more time. The Torrent set it down quickly for him, but he says, I think I'm going to adjust this to be in a different spot and maybe check the weather forecast on my phone, see how my stocks are doing. See if I can get a preview of the upcoming Euro semifinals. Take my time. Ball sent down the pitch. That was Batista that sent it down. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit during the weather delay, the hour-and-a-half weather delay prior to tonight's match, which is why we are still playing some football here at 9:03 p.m. for a match that was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. It is Spain and France that will be doing battle at 2 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Netherlands and the club trying to bring it home, as it were. England, who have had better luck in recent years on PKs than they've had throughout most of their years in international competition. England and PKs have typically not mixed very well. Yeah, Kevin O'Connor, our producer, mentioning that Simon Provan, who is usually doing the play-by-play for these matches, was very high on Team Switzerland, Die Schweiz. And after they emerged from Group A, he thought that they were going to have a good chance against England. That match finished 1-1 after extra time. And England were able to get it done from the spot, 5-3. You just feel for England fans whenever any match goes to PKs, because they have had, through the years, just some spectacularly bad luck from the spot.
Well, I'm now an England fan due to my recent discovery that I'm of English royalty. So.
There you go. Kevin O'Connor is saying that he is now an England supporter because he's discovered that he is of English royalty. Do I need to refer to you as sir? So apparently, Kevin O'Connor is claiming that King Edward I was his great-grandfather.
And then it goes all the way back to Charlemagne.
Well, I mean, if you are related to a king, then yes, there is a royal lineage that goes back a long way.
So, but interesting enough, it doesn't, unless you go back to William.
We're going to have a hard fall on the far side. No booking, as we discuss the nature of the House of Windsor here. There you go. Kevin O'Connor, apparently we have literal royalty in the box here. Was not aware.
I also own a one-by-one plot in Scotland.
Also talking about the land that he owns in Scotland. So that means that you're a lord, correct?
I have the certificate to prove it.
My lord. The man has like 12 doctorate degrees. He's a Scottish lord. He's English royalty. What are you doing here?
I don't know. Lord knows.
Set piece. Lord knows. Well, you are a lord, so you should know. We've gone off the rails here on this broadcast, kids. Cross. Deflected. Out over the end line. This will be a corner kick for Geo's Lions. As the discussion in the box is kind of taking a tangential run here, so as the discussion in the chat. Ian Stewart pointing out that you do not, in fact, ever have to feel for England fans. All I know is I'm an American, and yeah, the state of our national team right now, not so good. Yeah. Send your coaching application to US.
PO Box 1234, Soccer One Soccer Way,
Uh,
Town, USA.
I am 5/8 Polish, so I will have to say that at least Robert Lewandowski, with his unique PK taking style, was able to at least give us a little moment of glory against France. There is a Facebook site that goes by 44Toon that had a take on the Lewandowski penalty situation where they did not agree with the fact that he should have gotten the penalty, first off, against France. And then, of course, they accused him of doing 3 hours of Swan Lake ballet before taking the PK, which resulted in the keeper coming off his line after he could not convert the first time, but then got the second one after the keeper left early. But hard shoulder to shoulder. That'll be a foul on FC Milwaukee Torrent. So yeah, as mentioned, Kevin O'Connor clearly with his roots on the British Isles, whereas my name is Dan Pfeiffer. I am, as mentioned, 5/8 Polish. However, somehow the German 1/8 in me seemed to get the last name. So, couple subs for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Jonas Lusky comes on, as well as Sam Carls. That'll be the end of the night for Max Ludwig. And Alejandro Martinez. So now 4 substitutes on the pitch for FC Milwaukee Torrent, 3 for Geo's Lions. Checking out the Torrent technical area. Now, we had a booking earlier. It is worth noting, Finlay Skilling, there was some question about whether or not he would be available tonight. He did not dress for the match. Got the nod in the first 11 last night down at Atar Belleville near St. Louis, but some emotional gesturing down on the Torrent bench right now, and maybe some of the frustration coming out. This was a tough situation for the Torrent. Not making excuses by any stretch of the imagination, but again, with the team bus getting back here to Wauwatosa at 4 a.m., having to turn around. After that much travel and play in a match of this much significance that wasn't initially on the schedule, and then you have the weather delay tonight too, and the whole thing. Maybe a little understandable that some nerves are on edge right now, especially given the way that this one has gone and what it looks like the result will be, as FC Milwaukee Torrent, again, needed to get a victory in this match to have a chance of hosting in the Gateway Conference knockout rounds, but it is pretty clear at this point that FC Milwaukee Torrent will have to make the trip down to Chicago to play Geos at their place. We do have a substitution at the table for FC Milwaukee Torrent. 2 actually coming over. We have Ethan Kratzer, who is there, as well as Paul Seiss. A couple of guys we have seen in the first 11 for FC Milwaukee Torrent, notably Seiss. Hard foul, big shove, and now we might have some issues. At this point, Andrija Vukic goes over, and he goes from being a referee to being a peacemaker at this time. Still some pushing and shoving going on. Another shove, and we've got ourselves a rhubarb. Not quite a full-scale fight here, but certainly some bad blood in this moment. A lot of conversation. We're going to have a pair of yellow cards shown. One goes to Cesar Murillo of Gio's Lions. Whole string of yellow cards coming out here. We'll also get our substitutions. One will come on as well for Gio's Lions. Victor Selyu will come on for them. Jai Shea Bailey comes off for FC Milwaukee Torrent, as does Gabe Vaughn. And at this point, it seems like with the substitutions that are occurring, even with some of the attacking players coming off for FC Milwaukee Torrent, looks like the Torrent are pretty much waving the red flag, or waving the white flag in this one, we should say. At this point, if you're FC Milwaukee Torrent, you maybe want to try and find a button on that scoreboard that makes the clock run at 2 or 3 times speed, because I think you just want to get this one over with. Try and clear your heads. Be ready for Tuesday night, that match in the Wisconsin Cup. Whistle and a foul. That was Selyu. Yeah, and Isthmus City FC is going to be the foe on Tuesday night. Isthmus City did not fare well in their first Wisconsin Cup match. So it is one of those matches where the Torrent may be able to employ some reserves, some practice squad players in that match so that they can try and have their best 11 out there and ready to go for the return fixture, the third fixture between Gio's Lions FC and FC Milwaukee Torrent. You could even say the fourth if you want to include the 29 minutes that these two clubs played here before the Lightning rolled in the last time. Two sides that are very familiar with each other, and while it's not necessarily fair to say that this one was entirely Gio Lions FC, you can see scenarios where, let's say that ball that Nestis played off the near side post in the first half goes in. Maybe this is a different match if that happens, but that early 15th minute goal, and again, not really any way to put it. Just a mistake on the part of Augie Warnott. And things just kind of unraveled from there. A lot of fun conversation in the chat right now. A lot of folks, those who are of European descent, are showing their support for their various homeland sides, plus some discussion about certainly the nature of this match. And yeah, you know, you can make some questions about the fact that Andrija Vukic really didn't start going to the book until the 60th minute of this contest. Certainly some hard fouls early on in this one. But, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to these sorts of things, and it's unfortunate that it got to where it did, ball headed towards frame, but Deitering will be able to fall on that ball, and he will take his time to send it down the pitch. I end up looking at the end result, and yeah, the bookings are unfortunate, but to be honest with you, Gio's Lions, the better side tonight. And I don't think if you change the way this match is officiated, maybe if you give the Torrent the one goal at the start of the second half, it's still 2-1 at that point. Warnott's got to make a better decision in terms of the passing down there. We're going to get a whistle and foul, and that's going to be a booking on the substitute, Selyu. As now Vukic is trying to go to the book as often as he can to keep things under control late in this contest, but Seiss goes down. Still a lot of discussion between the Lions and Andrija Vukic. set piece opportunity for the Torrent here. Torrent would at least like to get one on the board. Ultimately, the sharper side and the better side tonight. A couple really nice finishes, too, for Geo's Lions SC. LaCliffey had the great sliding finish on the goal in the 40th minute for Geo's Lions SC. Bukla Abdul Wahab. And he got injured as he scored, but just a line drive strike right through the arms of Sam Ortner. A lot of pace. That ball had some fire behind it. Crossed in by Pill, headed on towards goal and in! Hey, that's one for FC Milwaukee Torrent. They'll pick up the ball and run back to the midfield stripe. 3-1 your score. Pill was the one to serve it up. We think it was Jonas Lusky on the finish. We're going to take a look at the replay, see if we can figure it out. Do you believe it was Jonas Lusky? Correction. It was 19, not 10. Didn't see the line in the middle of the jersey. Ethan Kratzer, the Carroll Pioneer. Great ball served up. Pill put it where he needed to. And hey, it's something if you're FC Milwaukee Torrent. Goal came in the 88th minute. And now you just try and keep that positive momentum going into Tuesday's match and then into Wednesday's rematch against the team that is going to be the NPSL Gateway Conference champions in 2024, Geo's Lions SC. Looking down to see just how much stoppage time we're going to have. Indication appears to be 7 minutes. Offside the call on the north end of the pitch. Jeff Pill, a little bit surprised to see the indication of 7 minutes of stoppage time. We have had a lot of injuries in this half, but given the Lions have this 2-goal lead, I mean, yes, FC Milwaukee Torrent will take the amount of time that's there, although this ball is played into the middle. 1v1, LaCliffey. But Ortner comes off his line. LaCliffey with too strong of a touch, trying to get a brace to match the one put up by Abdul Wahab earlier. But they can't get the finish, and that might keep the Torrent in this for a little while. We've had the injuries. We had that little scrape a few minutes ago on the far side of the pitch. Whistle. Foul. Geos. Maybe could have played advantage there if he wanted. Torrent just played the ball back. Carls. Ball into the middle, controlled by the Lions. Into the second minute of stoppage time, and we've still got ourselves a lot of football to play. Pill, chased down, pulled down. Angel Mendez is the one to take down Taylor Pill. Yeah, the final 15 minutes of this match have gotten a little out of hand. Not going to lie. Another opportunity for the Torrent, but the offside flag is up. Easy call. Fourth official has to come over and talk to the Torrent bench because 4 players came off and got into the ear of the assistant referee. And really, FC Milwaukee Torrent has to be very, very careful right now. There was already a booking on the bench earlier. this is something we have not seen out of this Torrent side this year. We have commended their composure at times, especially in that match against the Bavarians. An epic moment for the history of the Torrent organization, taking down the Bavarians in the USASA National Cup, a cup in its 100th year this year that the Bavarians have won the national title 6 times. Torrent have been able to keep their composure. And we've seen some years where Torrent, goodness knows, the man who owns the club, Andy Davi, is a fiery guy. Pretty much anyone who has ever met him will tell you that. And sides will often take on the character of someone like their owner, as that is a ball played wide of the nets. LaCliffey trying to get that second goal still. Torrent move quickly. Ortner, Gongora to the near side, but for the most part, we've been impressed with how the Torrent have been able to maintain composure throughout this season. But tonight, kind of losing the script a little bit. And again, as mentioned, been a long last couple days for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Geos did play yesterday too. They were at Wisconsin Conquerors and they got a victory, but the difference in bus rides is there. And obviously there was more on the line tonight for FC Milwaukee Torrent, and there's been more of this match that Torrent have had to face the reality of the fact that a win and the chance to host on Wednesday just slipped out of their grasp. Fifth minute of stoppage time. Geos taking their time, hard push in the back. No foul called at first, at least didn't hear a whistle. Did get the point, not sure if that was from our official, whether that was the indication of the foul or the indication of the throw-in. It looks like he will say there was a foul there. Didn't hear a whistle there somehow, but chested down by LaCliffey. Contact, late. That's Selyu again. He had the booking just a little while ago. Even though the Torrent are upset, they will continue to move quickly, knowing that time is not on their side. Selyu came on as the substitute and has earned a booking and was in danger of a second one there. And he was the most recent substitute for Geo's Lions. This will be a foul on the Torrent. This got chippy late in this one. And especially when you've got the shoving match that we had there around the 85th minute. Kind of a shame this one devolved the way that it did. Again, a developmental league, and part of what you have to develop is the character to keep your composure in these moments when maybe the official is not asserting himself as much as he should. You know the result is not going your way. Got to try and keep your head on your shoulders. The result is going the way of Geo's Lions SC, and they too have erred a little bit in terms of letting things get out of hand. Just a long ball played down the pitch by Geo's Lions. The correction. Torrent goes out beyond the touchline. We are into the 7th minute of stoppage time, and I have a feeling this one is not going to go much longer than the 7 minutes that have been allotted. If anything, just because Andrija Vukic is probably going to want to get off the pitch. The referees will take their requisite stand near midfield, shake a few hands, and then try and get out of here after this one. Ball is headed out over the end line. This will be a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Vukic will let them take the corner, but I have a feeling we're not going to have much more soccer after that. In swinger. Fisted away. Nestus outside the 18. Torrent have to keep moving towards goal. Headed away, and there is your final whistle. Hey, all credit to Geo's Lions SC. The reserves come off the technical area and run on the pitch, and they have the right to celebrate. They are NPSL Gateway Conference champions. And they win that title here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa with a 3-1 victory over FC Milwaukee Torrent in this NPSL tilt that was delayed an hour and a half by weather, but saw the Lions get goals in the 15th, 40th, and 56th minutes. Two of them coming off the foot of Bukala Abdul Wahab. And they are your Gateway Conference champions. Congratulations to the fine folks with Geo's Lions SC. An outstanding season for them. So Geo's Lions will get the opportunity to host FC Milwaukee Torrent in the 1v4 showdown as part of the Gateway Conference playoffs to decide who will advance in the NPSL knockout rounds. However, still a number of competitions for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Torrent still alive in the USASA Amateur Cup, of course. That'll come up later in July. Torrent will be taking part in the NISA Independent Cup. They'll see what they can do in that. Of course, Tuesday night, your next opportunity to see the Torrent men in action as they play in the Wisconsin Cup against Isthmus City. That match will start at 7 p.m. Geo's Lions lining up on the pitch to celebrate their conference title. Everybody grabbing a hand, holding hands, and they'll probably ring out a cheer in just a moment. They'll run over to the stands and celebrate their conference championship, and good on them. Great season for Geo's Lions, and of course it keeps going. Meanwhile, FC Milwaukee Torrent again, Isthmus City Tuesday night. As always, we like to tell you the best place to be to watch it, right here at Hart Park. However, if you cannot be here for that one, Geo's Lions even taking the time right now to toss their manager Carlos Reyes up in the air, and he even gets the Gatorade bath. Again, congratulations to Geo's Lions. They've earned the right to celebrate this evening, and that'll be a fun bus ride back to Chicago for them. But FC Milwaukee Torrent next up. Again, some Wisconsin Cup action on Tuesday night. Hope to see you out here at Hart Park for that contest. If you cannot make it, however, we will have that one on the YouTube channel. Kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. As the Torrent keep on trying to pursue some hardware in their various different competitions. However, that'll be it for tonight. One more time, your goal summary. Bukala Abdul Wahab got it started after Giannis Lecliffe took the ball off the foot of Torrent keeper Augie Warnod and found Abdul Wahab cutting towards net in the 15th minute. That made it 1-0. Giannis Lecliffe then scored on a great sliding finish off a cross from Kotaro Natsumi in the 40th minute. We went into halftime with Geo's up 2-0. Abdul Wahab scored his second goal of the match. Lecliffe assisted again. Just a fantastic strike by Abdul Wahab, although he was injured as he took that final strike to make it 3-0 in favor of Geo's Lions SC. Torrent did answer with one goal. Ethan Kratzer, assisted by Taylor Pill. Nice header by Kratzer to make it 3-1. But that was all the scoring that we had this evening. And your final score in this one, Geo's Lions SC 3, FC Milwaukee Torrent 1. My thanks to producer, engineer, public address announcer, DJ, man's man, ladies man, man about town, doctor of about 17 different things, Scottish royalty, English royalty, pretty much every title you can come up with. Kevin O'Connor, He does it all with a bag of chips. My name is Dan Pfeiffer. I'm saying be a fan. Thanks for watching, and do join us again here at Hart Park on Tuesday night as the Torrent take on Isthmus City in the Wisconsin Cup. One more time, your final score. Geo's Lions 3, FC Milwaukee Torrent 1. Geo's Lions, your NPSL Gateway Conference champions in 2024. This has been FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer on the FC Milwaukee Torrent YouTube channel.